Hi guys, so I was actually gonna do an underground arena tournament video, but I lost during my first fight, so there's nothing to record, I guess. So I'm just gonna be doing this. So I'll probably upload this tomorrow. So a lot of new players are curious about which legend to invest in. So before I start, just a disclaimer. This isn't based too much on data, like maybe a bit, but a lot of it isn't factual or is just my own opinion. So yeah, let's get started. So out of all of these, the first group of legends is the Devils. They're a bit stronger than the Octos in the coming plus 15 because they were revamped. The Octos haven't gotten their plus 15 yet. So out of all of these units, one unit that you should always have is Lucius. Lucius needs 5 or 6 attacks to die, and the only unit that can one-shot him right now is Catherine. You can say Nia or Wilhelmina would help in one-shotting him, or 2-3-shotting him, I guess. But those two units aren't used. Why not just use them? Why don't the top players just use them? It's because of my first recommendation of who you should invest in. So it's Raphithia. Raphithia gives a special buff, which is both offensive and also gives reflect counter damage. What this does is it kills off a lot of warriors, including Nia and Wilhelmina. So most warriors who can't remove the buff or don't have defensive skills will die. Sample of warriors that will live are Foxy. Foxy removes the buffs. Barbara has a 95% defense. Valze has Death Guard. So these are just some samples. Let me just put those away. Alright. My second recommendation is Nartas. Nartas has Taunt Ignore and doesn't really need a lot of buffs to kill a whole lane. So if you're on attack and you properly defend your Nartas, if you're in front of the enemy DPS lane, you're almost guaranteed to win because of the Taunt Ignore. If you're in front of a Grand Hilder, however, it's most likely gonna be a trade 1-for-1 unless the Grand Hilder's plus 8 onwards, in which case she will survive Nartas. Okay, so my third recommendation is Livia. So if you guys don't know, Livia is a gacha only Octo, so not everyone has her. In Korea, I guess all of the top players have her because they will. But for us regular players, it's a bit more on luck. So Livia is still used a lot, especially with Nartas. So before using two mages was okay before, but using 3 mages before, it's a bad tactic because the warriors will kill your entire team before you even start doing stuff. So but right now the meta's changed and using 3 mages is quite normal in the top tier. The 3 mages usually being Nartas, Livia, and Catherine. Sometimes people like to mix in Velfred, but I think that's just because of a budget option. Velfred's often used in the front to block Dalvi. Alright, so we have 3 good recommendations. The fourth one for me is Beliath. So why Beliath? Beliath deals fixed damage with her skeleton, and as I mentioned before, Raphithia will reflect damage and kill any warrior without defensive skill. So why is Raphithia good? Warriors that I mentioned before will all die. The 3 warriors I mentioned before, except Vaze, Barbara, Foxy, and also 100% defense units such as Angelica, they'll all die to a Beliath skeleton. That's why Beliath skeleton is really good. It also deals pretty well with Dalvi, stuff like that. It's a really good pick because right now a lot of people in the top 10 in Korea, all of them use Raphithia, and more than half of them use Beliath because it's such a good pair. Personally, I'm going for that pair when the October 31st comes. So I'm gonna get Raphithia and I'm gonna get Beliath, but I'm still deciding on that because I also really want Nartas or Angelica. I'm not sure yet. Alright, so who else? So yeah, for the second part, I really like Angelica. She kills almost anything she hits. The problem is because of Beliath and Sito. So a lot of people use Ceto nowadays because they have plus 10 Ceto. Ceto is not something I'd recommend for you to invest in. Yes, he's very good. He'd kill, with one buff, with a Rafitia buff, he'd kill Livia, he'd kill Nartas, he'd kill Angelica, which are all really strong units. So why don't I recommend him? He's essentially an overgrown Chocola. I don't think plus 10 is worth if you don't really have a solid team. He's like a, how do you say it? He's like a supplement to a team, so, kind of like how Jin was before. If your team can do well without Ceto or without Jin, you can opt to add him in. But if your team is struggling with a core, such as Rafitia, if you don't have a Rafitia, your team's core might be weak, so Ceto's not really a good choice for me. Even though rank 1, rank 2, a few of the top players use him. Alright, who else? Granhilder. Oh wait. Yeah, okay, let's go with Granhilder. Alright, I think I'll place Granhilder. Yeah. So Granhilder is actually a really strong unit. At plus 8 onwards, he can survive Nartas. She can also reflect skills, such as when she hits Mamonir, instead of Mamonir being silenced, instead of Mamonir giving Granhilder buff prohibition, Granhilder returns the buff prohibition to Mamonir, which is a really good kit. So she renders a lot of units useless. So essentially she's a really expensive Cowley, a really improved, really expensive Cowley. I wouldn't say that she's as good as Angelica, so I'm gonna put her down on the list. About Velfren. Velfren is still good. In Asia, a lot of people use him to block Dalvi. If you don't have a strong enough DPS lineup, you can also use him as a assault mage. Both ways, he's pretty good. I don't see him that often in the top tier in Korea, but I'd still recommend keeping him if you already have him. Velfren's still a really good overall unit, especially considering that he can be used in campaign and he can be used in Underground Arena quite well. Alright, who else is left? Alright. Alright. Alec, I personally don't like him, but he does give results. Alec has 3 tiles, and just to let you know, he will die to anything like Beliat Skeleton or Raphitia's reflect damage, but on offense, the enemy wouldn't have attacked yet, so he gets 1 hit off, and he kills almost everything, even Granhilder, with a sufficient buff. So that's why he's really good. On defense, however, he'll most likely die on his first hit. If he's lucky and he's in front of the DPS lanes, he'll take 3 with him, but I still think he's really good. By the way, all the top players in Korea, the top 10, they all have Rafitia, and most of them have the triple mage combo. Like 5 out of 10 have them. 6 or 7 out of 10 maybe. Who else did I miss? Syria is somewhat bad, and I'm trying to be really objective. A lot of you might already know that Mamonir is my favorite mercenary, but to be frank, she's quite weak in Korea. I don't see anyone using her, though, so that's why she's really low. How about Vase? You might think Vase is as bad as Mamonir right now, but she's actually a bit better. Why? Even though she's really weak against stuff like Dalvi, and a lot of people do use Dalvi, Vase is still good because she survives anything she hits. Beliat Skeletons or Rafitia buffed mercenary, she'll survive those, and she also deals a shit ton of damage. Like, her damage is really painful. If you've ever gone across a plus 10 Vase, really painful. Who else did I miss? I think that's everyone. Oh, Asmode. For me, Asmode is here. He's really good because a lot of units that hit front, such as Alec or Nartas, would be blocked by an HP tank, or like at least that's what people would try to do, such as Cecilia or a Cowley. Asmode rips through HP. That's why he's really good, because you can't just put anything in the front if you're up against Asmode. That's a problem. He makes teams more creative, essentially. So Yeah, I think that's about it for all the units. So if you like the video, thanks for watching. Wait. Did I miss anyone? No. Alright, I didn't miss anyone. So how about me? What would I personally do? So right now I already have a plus 10 Mammoneer and a plus 10 Velfern, a plus 1 Valsey, and a plus 3 Angelica. So what I plan on doing is, I plan on keeping Mammoneer. So I plan on keeping Mammoneer. I plan on building Raphethia. I might partially build the Beliath. Angelica, I'm not too sure anymore. So Velfern, I'm going to transfer his skills to maybe Nartas. I'm not 100% sure yet, so this is going to be my 4 legends, I guess. Because I do have a lot of books. I can at least plus 10 Refi and Nartas, and then plus 3 or plus 5 Beliath. Beliath only needs plus 3, I think. But like, if you're using her with some warriors that need attack buffs, I think plus 5 would be optimal for her. If you only need her for the skeletons though, I think plus 3 is a good stopping point. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed the video or learned something, or you have your own opinions, like you think, for example, Celia should be at tier 1, go ahead in the comments so other people can see more opinions, and because the reason I made this was to help newer players have a gist of what the units can do or how good the units are. So if you have a different opinion, just put them in the comments and let the other people read. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed.